Hey, what's going on? I would like to welcome every single one of you to Water Your Soil. So if you're new here, I have two rules over at this channel. The first rule is to always use your own discretion when it comes to credit cards and your credit score. The second rule is to always verify whatever it is you learn, whether it's at this channel, another channel, or anywhere. Always make sure that you verify whatever it is you learn. So getting into the video, this video right here is going to be about the most efficient way to increase your credit score. Now, oftentimes on this channel, I talk about different ways to increase your credit score. But in this video specifically, I'm going to focus on one way, what I believe is the most efficient way to do it. So there are different ways to increase your credit score. This is actually inspired by someone who came by a couple of weeks ago and they left a comment. And they asked me how come I don't do videos talking about trade lines. And they were like, hey, can you do a video talking about trade lines? And anyone who has been a member of this channel for a while or subscribed to this channel, I don't talk about trade lines on here. I don't talk about credit repair. I don't talk about those things on this channel. Now, I have my reasoning that I will state further along in this video, but you all know, especially if you're subscribed, that I don't talk about those things. And when it comes to credit scores, there are a lot of ways you can increase your credit score. You figure you have authorized users, you have taken out a loan, you have student loans, auto loans, home loans, you have credit cards. You have a lot of different options out there in regards to how you can actually increase your credit score. Now, some people don't know what the purpose of credit scores are. A lot of people think credit scores are a scam. And when people say those things, I always be like, listen, a lot of us, for the most part, we don't agree with credit scores in the whole system. But it's a thing where you either play their game or you lose at the game. You're either going to play their game and get the most out of it for the benefit of you and your loved ones, or you're not going to play it and you're going to end up losing in the back end. Because some people, they have this mentality and they've been coming around lately and leaving messages and stuff like that, leaving comments. And they're like, hey, credit is pointless. I even had someone come by and say credit is for slaves, which is kind of interesting. But people come by and they say all different types of things because a lot of people don't believe in credit, which is cool. I think it's kind of weird that they're on a channel that's pro credit and pro credit cards and they come by and they're against those things. That's kind of weird. As I stated in my previous video, that's like going to Chipotle asking for a cheeseburger. You're out of place, all right? But when it comes to credit scores, it basically comes down to how well you manage the debt that you have. The debt that you have is your accounts that you have. So are you paying down those accounts? Are you paying on time? Are you keeping your balances low? How long have those accounts been open? There are a lot of things that go into your credit score. And that's why I like to focus on teaching people about how credit scoring works, specifically the FICO credit scoring models. Now, some people, they are not a fan of that. They want to do things on their own. And if that's you watching this video isn't going to really help you. This is me pouring into you in regards to what I believe is the most efficient way to increase your credit score. Now, let's see, you have auto loans. So some people, they may think auto loans are the most efficient way. And I'm going to tell you, auto loans are cool because they usually have a high balance. You know, most people go and get a car, new or used, and it's usually more than $10,000. And if it's not more than $10,000, it's usually around that, especially these days in 2024. So when they go and they finance a car, you figure they're probably doing terms from 5 to 7 years. I've even heard of some people doing 8 and 9 years, which is ridiculous, but I've heard it. So for the most part, you're going to do a certain length of years in regards to the term that you have to pay off your balance and the interest that you owe on the loan. So you have that loan for whatever amount of years it is. Now, why I don't believe auto loans are the most efficient way to increase your credit score, because auto loans, once you pay them off, the account closes. Now, it still stays on your credit report, but it will impact you in a negative way because the account closed. You paid it off. So once your term is up, you pretty much got to start all over in regards to a new loan or whatever you're going to do in order to add that other account, because the account does close. Like I said, it stays on your credit report, but it does close down. It even shows it's closed on your credit report. So that's why I don't believe auto loans are the most efficient way. Then you have student loans. Of course, same thing with the auto loans. Once you pay them off, they're pretty much done. Some people may think a mortgage is the most efficient way. And the reason why I don't think mortgages are, because most mortgages are either 15 or 30 years. A lot of people go and get that 30-year mortgage and they probably say, hey, look at the length that I have on this loan. That should help me out over time. But with mortgages, the balances are usually so high that for you to start really seeing results as far as chopping down on that debt, it usually takes a couple of years. So that's why I don't think that mortgages are the most efficient way in order to increase your credit score. Now, just keep this in mind. Just because I'm saying that these aren't the most efficient way to increase your credit score doesn't mean that they're not a way to increase your credit score, because they are. Both of them are. Trust me. And I'll explain how later on in this video. And I just wanted to say that because I know some people, they like to pick your words apart and pick out things that they want to hear or what they think they heard. And that's not the case. Both of those two things do help in regards to increasing your credit score. I just don't think they're the most efficient ways. Now, you also have authorized users, which a lot of people want to go this route. And hey, if you find someone and they have a lengthy credit history and their accounts are in good standing and they add you to those accounts, you probably like, hey, this is a winner. This has to be the most efficient way. But you got to really think and remind yourself about life and how life works. Let's say it's your girlfriend or your boyfriend and you break up. You're off of their account. Let's say it's your husband or your wife. You divorce. You're off of that account. Let's say it's one of your parents or a relative or whatever it may be, and either you break up or a life event happens and they no longer have that account. Then you lose that account off of your credit report, and then you're in trouble, because once that account drops off your credit report, whether it's 15, 20, 30, 40, how many ever years it is of having an account that's in good standing on your credit report, helping your credit age, it usually hurts your credit report and your credit score in a negative way. So what I believe is the most efficient way, and I'm going to continue to stand by this until I'm proven wrong, but in my opinion, the most efficient way to increase your credit score is through credit cards. You might ask why. When I think about efficiency, I think about both short-term results and long-term results. Some of you may think maybe just short-term, which is why a lot of people are fans of authorized users or trade lines and things like that. But I'm thinking about the long game. So not just in the present, but long-term. When you think about credit cards, they belong to you. They're something that you can have for the rest of your life. So let's say you get one right now in 2024. By the time 2034 comes around, your credit card account is going to be 10 years old. And if you've been paying on time, not being late for that card and keeping it in good standing, that's 10 years of good credit history when it comes to that card. Let's say you have other cards to add on to that. That adds to that as well. And then let's say 2044, that's 20 years. We're all getting older. As long as you're alive, you're going to continue to get older. So that's why I say credit cards, as long as you have them open and active and you're managing them correctly, they grow. They grow with your age. They grow with you. Now, of course, the key piece is making sure that you are managing them correctly, meaning you're paying on time. You're keeping your balances low. You're not being late. You're watching your utilization, those things. But if you're keeping them open and active, they can show up for you in a good way, both in the present and the future. And that's efficiency to me. So I think the most efficient way to increase your credit score is by having something that benefits you from your own doing and your own work. And that's what a credit card is. So credit cards are my number one and most efficient way to increase your credit score. Now, when it comes to what I said earlier in regards to, the auto loans, the student loans, the personal loans, and things like that, those help as well because you can have a credit mixture. So let's say you do have credit cards. The three major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, they love credit mixture when it comes to FICO. So let's say you have credit cards and you decide to add an auto loan. If you're managing that auto loan correctly, paying on time, not being late, and making your payments for a good 3 to 6 months, and you have your credit cards and you're managing those correctly as well as the other accounts on your credit report, you should start seeing increases with time during that 3 to 6 month range, or maybe sometimes longer, maybe sometimes earlier, but you should start seeing increases because they love credit mixture. They even have it in their 5 categories that make up a credit score. A percentage of your score accounts for credit mix. So that's when those things could come into play. But like I stated, the most efficient way is credit cards. So if you're new here and you're feeling the vibe over here, this is Water Your Soil. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications. That way you don't miss a future video because I post weekly. And this goes to every single one of you watching right now. Be sure to hit the like button. That's your way of showing support for this video. It lets the algorithm know you support this video. You also support this channel. This is Water Your Soil. I appreciate every single one of you stopping by, and I'm out. Hold on. Wait. Before you leave, be sure to check out the description box below. That way you can have all the credit resources from Water Your Soil. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button as well, all right? In the description box below, I always tell people, check out the description box below for extra resources from Water Your Soil. Part of the description box also showcases my book that I have. I have a book. It's been out for a while now. It's been out for years. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. The book is available. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. Most online bookstores have the book. And the book is basically about how FICO credit scoring works. Once you understand how FICO credit scoring works, you're pretty much on your way to helping yourself build, develop, and maintain a good credit score. So check the book out whenever you get a chance.